Hi YouTube family, this is Susan and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. I've been so busy with everything else, but I want to thank you so much for watching, sharing, liking, and subscribing to my channel. So in this video I want to talk about shelter for homeless. And in March of 2020, there is about 60,093 people homeless, and that is recorded. That is in the system to say, they are on this, here. And we only have in New York City about 450 shelter outlets, which is already overpopulated. And all of that, you have 36,000 people already crammed into that 450 homeless shelter. Still, you have 24,000 people still out there living on the streets. And for those who are not recorded, are not in the system, and we're paying our taxes. And now is the time that for those who are going to vote, or those who is qualified to vote, I hope that you are looking into all these people that you're voting for, the party or whatever. Make sure that they have a plan in place, a structure in place for homeless people, because these are human beings like everybody else, regardless of what happened while they're on the streets. You understand? They are human beings, and every day we see them, and we make up our face or we pull ourselves away from them. But these people live on the streets, and we're paying taxes, so some accommodation must be made for them. Homeless shelter, there's so many things they can build. They will build schools and bridges and precincts and hospital, which is important. But these people are helpless, and they need our help and our support. So I think that's the reason why we pay taxes, so to help them until they can help themselves. And as I was saying that, the 450 shelter that we have in New York City is overpopulated. Some shelters, open 24/7s. Some shelter is you're only allowed 400 days to be in there. After that, you have to leave or find somewhere else to go. Some places, it takes 5 to 30 days before you are placed into a shelter, and it depends upon your requirement or what is the criteria you need to have to get that spot. Because right now they're just dealing with the priorities. The causes of why people are on the streets are eviction. Many people who can't afford to pay this enormous rent, and enormous mean what it could be $800, it could be $1,000, it could be whatever, but they can't afford to pay it anymore. The job is not there for them. They lose their job, they get sick, anything can happen, and they're evicted and they have to be on the streets. It could be, domestic violence. Things happen in the home, and you gotta leave. We gotta leave. Anybody gotta leave and be on the streets because things that happen in the home, and there is no accommodation. There is no place to help them to get back on their feet. So I hope that in 2020 and the next year that we will start seeing structure going up for homeless people to get them back on their feet, because it's inhumane. seeing these people sleeping on the sidewalk, bus stations, train station, abandoned building, construction sites, abandoned cars. If possible, you will see them on the bridges. I mean, anywhere that in the cribs on the corners of business places, anywhere that they can lay their head for that night, they're gonna sleep. And you want to tell me that you feel comfortable about it? I know Governor Andrew Cuomo and Mayor de Blasio, they have done an excellent job, and I have been observing this man over 10 years, both of them, and they have done an excellent job, and they come to do their job, and that's it, and they are for us. So I hope that we all work together, and I hope they have a plan in place and make sure that they have something for these people, because it should not be ignored. I remember the other night I was there outside, was working, and I saw some people. They drove up into the park, and they kicked all the homeless people out, closed the park, they locked up the park, and then left. And I'm like to myself, okay, now they're outside. What's the difference? If they're thinking that, okay, the criminal activity can happen in the park, it can happen on the sidewalk too. These people, these human beings, belongs to somebody's family. So we got to do something about it, and that's the reason why I'm talking about it, because it's important. It's inhumane to see people on the sidewalk in a very rich country like this. On a ratio, you have 57% African American, 32% are Hispanic and Latinos, 7% white, 3% unknown, and 1% Asian American. And those are the human beings that are living on the streets. You have people out there live for years on the streets. I think it's not because they want to. There is nothing there for them. We have 1,700 parks in New York City. Parks. In my opinion, some of these parks is not even relevant. The botanical garden, if I'm saying it the right word. You have a park with just beautiful flowers. That's not even important. It's not, because you have human beings. You have people out there that is living on the streets. We're paying taxes for them so they can have somewhere they can sleep, they can heat, they can have a shower, a warm meal. You understand me? Get rid of some of these parks and build up some structure for these people. 1,700 parks. For what? Come on. Their life matters. All of those people on the sidewalk, life matters. And we need to start looking about human beings, people. According to the information, they say that they have spent 8.4 million in homeless shelter. In what? Electricity, heat, water, food. I don't see it. 8.4 million is a lot of money, and I still don't see where it goes. I hope Mr. de Blasio and Andrew Cuomo will put in place agency. People will start monitoring food and all the supplies for the homeless, stay in the homeless shelter for the people, and not be shipped to other people's place or other people's home. You understand me? And then we can start seeing and have some accountability of making sure that these people, food and supplies, beddings, all of that, stay there. Because you can't be spending 8.4 million and we don't see, and so many people are still on the streets. They're suffering in the winter. You know how cold it is? You're standing at the bus stop waiting for a bus or the train or wherever. and these people are sleeping out there. Come on now. I must applaud these companies. Claude Hawks, they have built a lot of mini trailers. They are 8 by 12 feet trailers, and they are for homeless shelter. Amazon turned a Seattle building into a permanent women's shelter. And San Jose is building shelters starting in April of this year. Apparently they have started. I guess it's because of the pandemic. They have stopped, but they have started. And their plan is to build 500 mini shelters. And these are private companies. And I really want to applaud them. And I hope to God that it will complete. I have also read that Mr. de Blasio and Como, they have in place that they are going to, by 2026, they're going to have 300,000 shelter for homeless people. I pray and hope it will come into tuition, and I pray and hope it will not stop. And because they say every year they're planning on building 1,000 home for the shelter for homeless people, you know. But yeah, we need to really work on looking out for one another, and paying our taxes is one of the reasons. And we can't be ignoring these people. They are sick. They are not in their right mind. They are sick, and we need to help them and give them a hand, you know, because they need our help. And we paying taxes is helping them, and it's now for those who are in authority to help them, to give them somewhere they can sleep and eat and shower and get a good night rest. Because if there was places for them, you wouldn't see them on the streets. You would not. Or they wouldn't be sleeping in a train station or the sidewalk or whatever. You wouldn't. So we need to do that, you know, to help these people. You know, and now we're seeing them even more, being that they are sanitizing the trains at night, so they're on the streets even more, you know. We hope that everybody will chip in and help each other and to help them and make America a wonderful place to live and enjoy, because, you know, we are all are human beings. So yeah, that's all I want to talk about tonight. If you have anything in the comments, just leave it down there. If this topic doesn't have any relevancy to you or any interest, just like it and pass it on to somebody else so they can be blessed. So, because you never know, this can end up into somebody's hands where, you know what, let me do something. Let me build something for these people, you know. Let me turn, you know, this place that I have to help out even 10 homeless people. You know, so like this, share it so others can be blessed and help these human beings on the streets. All right, thank you. Bye.